We've got 30 days to build and launch a startup with a 17-year-old who has never built a startup before and has zero technical knowledge. On the last episode, I introduced you to Damon, the 17-year-old who we will be helping on this challenge to build a startup from scratch. I also covered the concept of our idea and the rules for this challenge, so if you've not yet watched episode 1, I recommend you do before getting into this. In this episode, we're gonna take you behind the scenes of what it's truly like to plan and then start to build your product inside of AI tools like Lovable. But most importantly, we are going to show you the unfiltered, raw reality of building a startup. You're going to see Damon, a 17-year-old who has never built a company, face real problems early on. Without further ado, this is week 1 of the 30-day build challenge.
I'm quite excited because this is an idea I've had for quite a while. If I can do this right, I'm helping a lot of people. Building with Jacob means I have someone with experience to build with me. And that would mean like invaluable insights, and also like I'd have access to part of his team.
Now, the goal for this first call was to set the groundwork for everything that's to come. The first thing we did was define our problem statement. This is something that most founders drastically overlook, because a problem statement isn't just about knowing what you're going to build. It's about knowing the exact problem, the exact audience, the way that you're going to position your product to the market. And so if you ever are writing a problem statement, make sure it's no more than 1 to 2 sentences, because anything longer, you're probably not clear on the problem statement yourself. The problem statement that we came up with was that local businesses struggle to make good content, while everyday local creators struggle to monetize their work. 2 problem sets for 2 different audiences that we can combine into this simple content rewards marketplace that we're calling PostPal. PostPal, we'll have to come up with a better name, I think. But so our goal was simple: build the first local marketplace that connects local businesses with local creators, so that local creators, even like yourself, can go to local businesses, create content that they would naturally do, and then hopefully attract more customers to that restaurant. We wanted to set realistic metrics, realistic goals that we think we can hit within the next 30 days. So we boiled it down to this. The first is that we want 10 monthly active businesses using our platform. The second thing is we want 50 active creators creating content towards campaigns for businesses. And the last thing is that we want to facilitate $5,000 in marketplace volume, also known as GMV. So with that out of the way, it was go time. We then started to continue to plan our product in what we call a PRD doc, which outlines every single feature that we will be building in this product. And without boring you on the details, here's the high-level scope that we came up with. First, it's pretty obvious, but we have 2 user types for this. We have the business and we have the creator. Businesses will sign up, create their profile, create a campaign with a set budget, set their CPM rate, which means the cost per 1,000 views that they'll pay out to creators. They'll set the requirements and the start and end date. On the creator end, creators will sign up. They will link to their social media so that we can verify that it's actually them. We will then create profiles, and they'll be able to browse and join campaigns to be able to participate. Creators can then go create content for the campaign and submit it by inputting the URL to the video in our platform. We are using Stripe Connect for all the backend payment infrastructure that will allow us to capture payments and then allow us to move the money over from the business all the way to the creator and distribute it evenly and accordingly. With all that out of the way, it was time to get to the fun part. After our call, I wanted to explain to Damon some of the best practices when it comes to building with Lovable. To make it simple for this video, we've condensed it down to 5 simple steps that you should follow when you start building on Lovable. The first and most important thing of this whole process is making sure that you have a clear, defined product on paper, because doing something like a PRD document makes this whole process 10 times easier, because you're able to then give that to AI or give that to Lovable as your foundation. So the first rule, make sure that you have clear requirements for what you're building. Which brings us to our second point, which very much strongly relates to the first point, which is the first prompt that you give to Lovable sets the foundation. And so you want to make sure that that first prompt gives you the whole high-level explanation of your project so that Lovable is able to contextualize all future prompts. A really easy trick to do this is you take your PRD doc and you give it to ChatGPT and you ask ChatGPT to create a Lovable prompt for you that it will then spit out, and you can copy and paste right into Lovable to give you a nice, concise prompt. The next thing that you want to do is start setting up your database early on, because what you want to avoid is getting all through your front end just to realize that you need to almost redo everything and connect things to the database. So you want to be doing this as you go, which means you need to set up your Supabase integration as soon as possible and start creating your different tables and role level security. That way you can build the backend and the front end as you go, rather than completely separate and disconjointed. You then want to go and build out all the main screens, but make sure that you tell Lovable to link back to the proper table in your Supabase database. So I recommend going feature by feature on this rather than trying to attack all screens at once. The next thing that you want to use strategically is chat mode. Now, chat mode is not to be taken lightly. Chat mode is your secret weapon for debugging things, because Lovable has made chat mode extremely powerful for going in and debugging what the issue is, and then using agent mode to go in and fix it. So I recommend using chat mode when it comes to figuring out what the issue is, and then use agent mode when it comes to actually implementing the solution. And the last thing you just want to make sure is you do not want to overlook security and scalability. Things like role level security and other best practices to make sure that your edge functions, your APIs are all secure. Lovable has made that extremely easy with their own security check feature, so make sure to utilize that before deploying. There's a million other things I could say about AI and building with Lovable, but I'm gonna save that for a longer video because we need to get back to the real story here, Damon. Days went by and Damon was starting to make good progress. I even had some of my team hop on a call with him to help him as he got stuck.
I'm finally making good progress. So the first couple of days was a bit choppy because I'd get to an 80% good product and then I'd hit a roadblock. And I'd go to GPT to debug this. I'd ask Lovable. It's supposed to be simple, but it's simple for a technical person and I'm non-technical. I'd have to learn. So I was trying to figure this out and I really couldn't. So Aaron, one of the guys on Jacob's team, helped me when I got stuck, and he helped me with the API call. And now the product genuinely works. So I guess I'm ready for my first demo with Jacob to show him the full product and see what improvements we can make.
The next day, we hopped on a call to demo the first version of the product, but it became really clear to me that Damon was suffering from what I like to call the builder dilemma, which is essentially when somebody is so deep in the weeds of building their own product, they start forgetting about the holistic picture that you're trying to build. They start obsessing over one random feature or another, debugging one bug or another, that when you actually use the product, it doesn't actually work. To where after, if you look at what you've done, it doesn't actually work hand to hand. You end up with a disconjointed product. Yeah, so I guess next time Damon, you can look more into the API stuff, and then we can meet probably like maybe Monday or Tuesday next week to kind of review it, see where you can get to it, and then kind of help tighten any loose ends. When he showed me the product and we started testing, I realized that the core functionality, the core flow was completely missing. We had chunks and pieces here and there, but it wasn't connected. And so I gave him my blunt and honest feedback. This is the point of the story where things take a turn. One night, I got a call from Damon, and I wasn't expecting much until I heard the tone in his voice, and something seemed not right. Damon was stuck in a spiral. On top of that, he started getting in his head about other personal decisions. On the one hand, he's participating in this once-in-a-lifetime challenge. On the other hand, he's a high schooler that may just want to enjoy the summer that he has right before college. And he was stuck with pressure on both sides. Half of the world was telling him that he needs to build a successful startup, and the other half of the world was telling him that he should go enjoy and be a 17-year-old before he gets into the real world. Yo, what's up? Everything good?
I don't know what to say. Like, I'm not sure if I want to keep going.
What's going on?
Well, I've been stuck on Stripe Connect all day. Like, nothing's working. The whole payout flow is broken. I've tried a million different fixes, and every time I think I'm there, like another error just shows up. And honestly, it's just too much right now.
Man, don't worry about the Stripe stuff. I mean, we'll figure this out. We'll have Aaron jump on a call if we need to. Like, this isn't something that's worth ending the challenge over.
And like, it's not even just like nothing working. Like, it's everything. Like, this is supposed to be my last high school summer, last summer before I leave for university. And like my friends are out there having fun. They're going to cottages, they're traveling, they're having fun, they're being camp counselors, they're living what a high schooler should. And I'm just here, just like alone in my room, like staring at my MacBook all day. I'm trying to force a product to work. I'm trying to force like a connection, and I'm not even sure if people will use it.
I get that, man, but I think you're kind of caught in your head right now. I think that you've been working on this all day and you've been spiraling, and I just don't think that this is going to be worth ending the challenge over. I mean, we've already made such good progress. I think like you just need to kind of overcome this obstacle, and then we'll be in the green.
I feel like I'm missing out on being a kid. I feel like I've thrown myself into something that's killing me from inside out. I cannot live. I don't know if I can keep doing this.
So you're really thinking of quitting, eh?
I don't know if I want to finish this.
Maybe there's a bigger discussion we can have.
Not now.